on everybody, welcome back to Press X to Talk, and today we're stepping into a very specific lane. Episode 5 is Press X to Wrestle. This is a side of the gaming podcast where we talk about the nostalgia and the absolute childhood memories. If you grew up on wrestling games, WWE storylines, and thought jumping off furniture was a valid life choice, this episode is all for you. And today, this episode is a special one because I've got somebody who has been a part of this journey before the podcast, microphones, and the social media thing. This guy's a childhood friend, backyard wrestling partner. It isn't Dom, it is AJ. How are we doing, AJ?
How we doing, bro? All good?
Yeah,
All
good,
good.
man. Good. How's your week been?
Week's been good, mate. Week's been good. Just a standard week. Playing a lot of wrestling games.
Wrestling games?
Yeah, getting
Which
prepared
one?
for this, mate. I've been playing a new one.
25.
2K25. Trying to complete the island mode. Not as easy as it looks, but hey ho.
Ooh. Right, well, I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll get straight off into it because there's a big topic in the wrestling world at the minute, and that's John Cena's final match. Do you think after a long 24-year career, tapping out with a smile on his face was the right way to go?
Well, it's one of the, he hadn't tapped out for 20 years. I think the last opponent he tapped out to was Kurt Angle. If that's the way Cena wanted to go out, then ear to him. He's had a great career. If he were to go out with a smile on his face, tapping out, fine. Do I agree with his opponent? Gunther wasn't the right choice.
Yeah, so that's one. Well, that was one of the big topics when it was like the final opponent being Gunther in himself. Sorry, but then like even the whole tapping out with a smile on his face. Now, for somebody who's spent 24 years,
yeah,
and with the whole never give up, the character sort of thing.
Yeah.
I personally felt like him tapping out on the final, like on his final one, wasn't like. I don't think it was him tapping out in the fight. To me, it felt more like he's done with like tapping out to wrestling. That's him done now. Instead of like you know what I mean. Instead of the fight, if that makes sense. If you can make sense out of that, fair play to you. Like
I agree. I agree with what you just said. He was more tapping out of his career more than the actual match. Which, if you think about the match, it wasn't on a proper pay-per-view. It was on a YouTube show, Saturday Night Main Event. 4-match
was it
card.
on Netflix as well?
It might have been on Netflix. I watched it on YouTube. It was 4 matches on the card, and it was all just John Cena.
Like his own little.
Yeah. So, yeah, in my view, like you say, he tapped out on his career, not on his match.
Yeah, and there has been a lot of controversy over it, controversial like conversations over it online and stuff. A lot of it aimed at Triple H, Hunter himself being in the gorilla position, they call it, or whatever.
Yeah, behind
scenes, running the shop. It's more to do like with him being able to like create long-term storylines. Now, I have seen some which would have been good when The Rock come out. If The Rock come out and did the same thing they did with Cody Rhodes, where he just went. And then John Cena just low blow Hunter.
Yeah.
It'd have been amazing to see, but it's I don't think that'd have happened. Like.
Yeah, the downside is since Hunter a couple of years ago had his heart issue and he's had a pacemaker put in, he can't get physical anymore. So he can't physically take any contact.
Yeah, and I mean a low blow is going to take your breath away as well, isn't it? Let's be honest.
That's it. It's a bit of a sore subject because I figured out when I was watching it. I've literally watched John Cena's career from his first match to his last match now. I don't know. Because I read all the dirt sheets and the backstage, news. He asked WWE for a full 12 months, a full year of matches, and WWE said, no, we only want you for certain dates. So that's why he did the tour. Yeah, he was happy to do another 12 months in the ring and have more matches.
Yeah.
Because personally, for me, if you look at his old farewell tour with there's only 1, 2, 3 matches I can say were, the one against AJ Styles, that
was amazing. I love that.
Amazing match. The one he had against Lesnar, it had to be redone. But the ones like R-Truth, really? I get R-Truth's a comedy character, but...
Yeah, it wasn't... Yeah, I get that. But then to put R-Truth on the same like category as them... to try and put them on the same category as like Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles and stuff, it'd have been difficult for them to do anyway, because of the level of wrestling and R-Truth being that comical character, like you said yourself. But I mean, how old's R-Truth?
R-Truth's 50.
I was going to say he's getting on a bit, isn't he?
I think he's about 51, 50.
So can you get to that level of physicality at that age?
Well, he doesn't seem to age. He still looks like he did when he first started. I mean, seriously, man. Jeez. Yeah, he doesn't seem to age. But when you've been a comedy character your whole career, you can't suddenly just become this serious top name.
Well, it was like that with is it Santino? Was that his name?
Yeah, the Italian one.
Yeah. John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena.
John Cena. That was hilarious.
Yeah. There's certain characters in wrestling where it's like they have a ceiling, and once you get hit with a comedy character, not many wrestlers can go above it. Y2J did it great because he was a bit of a comedy character when he first came into WWE.
Yeah, he sort of bounced back from it, didn't he?
Yeah, and he evolved. He evolved with the times.
Yeah.
Where R-Truth, they tried to turn him heel, didn't work, so they turned him back face. Because no one wants to do
whole
R-Truth.
like turning him heel surprised me a little bit. I thought he would have done that really, really well, but like in a sort of comical kind of way. And it did get, I don't think a little bit cringy is the right word to use, but it did get a little bit like tedious, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think one thing WWE have definitely done with like the R-Truth heel turn, they rushed it a bit like the Cena one.
The Cena one, yeah.
They turned him heel, and then they expected him to come out, badmouth the crowd, and everyone's going to boo him. It's his final tour. No one wants to boo Cena on his final tour.
No, not at all. 24 years, mate. You know
what I mean?
I mean, like you said, you've been watching him from when we were a kid. Essentially, we've watched our childhood retire.
Exactly, which is really scary. We've watched basically our version of Hulk Hogan retire, and it really shows that we're getting old for one, but it shows the evolution of the business. Because if you look at the business back when Cena started to now, it's evolved massively.
Massively.
Jeez, the talent on the roster. And it's like I saw the other day that Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton are the only two originals from that OVW year call-up that Cena came up with that's still in the business. Batista's retired. Cena's now retired.
I think you said Randy Orton's going next year, was it? Or was
Randy
it Brock?
Orton's meant to be going next year. Brock's going next year.
Brock's going next year.
Yeah. AJ's going next year.
Aye.
Mysterio's going next year.
Mysterio is going. And then there's, I think, from that generation, was Edge?
He's in AEW.
Is he going across as the
Because there was rumours he was going to come back for Cena's farewell tour, but...
Well, there was rumours he was going to be his final opponent as well.
Yeah, but WWE doesn't want to work with AEW. Because Tony Khan, who runs AEW, said he would have been open to having, like, like a cross-promotion thing for the tour. It would be great, but WWE won't work with them because they're rivals.
Yeah, clash of heads.
Yeah, a bit like when it was WCW, you would never have got WCW and WWE working together back in the day.
Absolutely. So, I mean, like you touched on it before, like the got like when we were watching John Cena from the very start. Before that, I mean, we'll talk about the different eras of wrestling from what was it, the Attitude Era, all the way up until now. I mean, the Attitude Era alone's produced some like legendary characters in themselves, like you said.
Yeah, the Attitude Era. Gee, everybody wants to go back to the Attitude Era.
I love it, mate. It's my favorite time.
Problem is,
that's where all my memories are.
Yeah, I agree. Like Mankind, Triple H, The Rock, Austin, Taker, Kane. Even lower card wrestlers like Scotty 2 Hotty, Rikishi, the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys. You know what I mean? I could sit here all day and name Attitude Era wrestlers because they were sort of Val Venus. He was a bloody porn star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tell you what, do you know what though? I think a lot of that is to do though with, I mean, like you can get away, or they gotten away with a lot more back then. Imagine some of them storylines trying to come out nowadays.
Oh, that's why. Do you know when people say WWE should go back to the Attitude Era now? It would never be the same.
It'd shut like that.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to do the...
Imagine D-Generation X now, from back in the day.
Like, can you imagine, like, do you remember when DX did the Nation skit and, like, X-Pac had the dark makeup on? Yeah. You couldn't do that now.
You couldn't do, no,
you couldn't do all the homophobic slurs. You couldn't. That wouldn't go now.
It wouldn't last.
It would kill the company. It would kill the company. So I think that's the sort of thing that you look back on and think, we were there, we witnessed it, and times change.
Correct. Have you got a favourite era? Or favourite other era?
I liked the Ruthless Aggression era. When it was Cena first started, obviously, you had Angle, you had Eddie Guerrero, God bless his soul. Yeah. You had Ray when he first started in there. And then on Raw, you had like Goldberg first run, Batista, young Randy. Shawn Michaels came back from retirement. You know, RVD in his prime.
Class.
You had all these amazing stars in the Ruthless Aggression. The problem was the storylines were awful in Ruthless Aggression.
So it's hard to believe the Ruthless Aggression with John Cena, Kurt Angle. He nearly got cut, didn't he? John Cena nearly got cut. I remember watching, it was a while ago now when I saw this one. He was talking about how it was in like doubles tag team matches and stuff,
Yeah.
and that was basically the last road for people before the cuts. And he was told there's a chance he's going to be on the December cuts, and he heard Rikishi, Rey Mysterio just freestyling at the back of the bus, and he just said in the video, he's like, I just went, let's go and try this. Stephanie McMahon heard it, and then, well, the rest is history.
Because thinking back again to when Cena first started, when he came down to the ring, slapped Kurt Angle, Ruthless Aggression, even I back then looked at him like, he won't last a year.
Yeah.
He's going to be one of those that burn out really quickly.
Mm.
And we've just watched his last match 24 years later.
Do you reckon that was a lot to do with his image, though? Because I reckon if you'd have done the Ruthless Aggression now, like with the style he's got now, do you reckon it'd have worked better?
Yeah. Win his first year, if you come in with the rapping gimmick straight away, the Dr. Thugonomics gimmick, I would have looked at him and gone, this guy's going to be a star.
Yeah.
But because he came in and just looked like the average, you got to admit, he looked like someone you could create on WWE. You know what I mean? A created superstar when he first started.
Here comes the pen.
Yeah. And then once he evolved like into the rap thing, and then he started the hustle, loyalty, respect, doing it for the kids and all that, it was like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about doing it for the kids, you hit me with a fact then just before we started.
Yeah. John Cena's holds the world record for the most Make-A-Wish granted, over 600, which that's amazing. He goes and I watched a video today, actually, while I was preparing for this. A kid was saying his mum got diagnosed with breast cancer. And they took him to a wrestling show, and Cena gave him the armband that says never give up. So when his mum went down for a 6-hour surgery to get it thingied, he gave her that armband and said to his mum, don't give up. And now his mum's cancer-free and made it. And that's just the impact Cena has. You know what I mean?
What a story.
It's like,
that's good.
My thing with wrestling is, I know you people say it's fake, you know what I mean?
I'm going to stop you right there, okay? This bugs me, and I'll be honest, I've not watched wrestling or played wrestling for quite a couple of years now, and take it from me and Adam, all right, who used to beat 10 bells of living shit out of each other, I'll bleep that. It is not fake. There is a massive difference between fake and scripted. You can't pretend to throw somebody off the top of a steel cage through the announcement table. You can't pretend to do that. And to be honest with you, I don't even think that was to a level scripted, because he was begging Mankind was begging to be thrown off the cage for weeks. And
because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You know, there's things are done safely, and in the industry, they sort of taking a bump is what they call it. You know, and it's a very physical sport. It isn't fake. It's scripted. The storylines. Like I said, you can't pretend to put somebody through a table.
Yeah.
You know, there's safer way of doing things, but it's still physical.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right. The way I see it, right, these people who say wrestling's fake and all this, it's like, these are the same people who thinks the Avengers really attacked New York. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that didn't happen either, mate.
Did it not?
You know what I mean? But like I was saying, with wrestling, beyond the TV and the stuff you see on TV, being a wrestler and being in any sort of star, having the power to change someone's life behind the scenes and give kids hope, or give them that one last smile, or you know what I mean?
It's a privilege that comes along with the fame, fortunes and stuff.
Kane, I watched an interview with Kane not so long back, and he said he was at a concert with his wife, and he went to get a drink, and a woman ran up to him to show him a picture. And what it was this gets me. It was a picture of him with her son.
Her son
in hospital.
Yeah, I know.
And she said to him, this was the last picture she ever took with him before he passed away. And Kane was like, and it was with me, which even now I've got goosebumps just talk about it. To have that sort of star power, to be able to just bring a smile to someone who's not going to be here that much longer, face, that's the power of wrestling for me. That's why I love it. Not just the on-screen things, the things that they do behind the scenes.
Behind the curtains, completely
the things
agree.
that you don't really hear about.
Yeah, which you should hear more about, to be fair.
Oh, 100%. You should hear more about the charity work they do. They should. Like WWE have the anti-bullying campaign every year. That's a great campaign. And it wasn't so long back that LA Knight did a unscripted bit on SmackDown where he said, I want to talk to all the men out here just to let you know it's okay to cry, and if you need to speak to somebody for men's mental health. It's a great message to send.
Yeah.
But people
Especially
just see him as this fake thing, but it's the messages they send.
No, I completely agree with that. They are so much more than just the wrestling industry. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the curtains, like we just mentioned there, like all the charity work that they do and stuff. And a lot of it is behind closed doors. I don't think that's like in sort of like, oh, we're hiding it because of the characters that we've got. Sort of mean, you know what I mean about the characters that the wrestlers play and stuff.
Kayfabe. So what they used to, back in the day, wrestlers were meant to be the characters that are on TV, off TV.
Okay.
So they called it kayfabe.
Oh, did they? See, again, didn't know that. This is why we brought you on. Aye, yeah, the kayfabe. So, but yeah, but like now, the amount of stuff to do it is really good. Let's try and bring this back into a more.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stories that we can talk about down that, and we don't want the listeners to start crying and getting upset.
They're already
yeah. So we touched up on the stories and stuff in the WWE.
Yeah.
Obviously, this Press X to Talk is a gaming podcast, so we'll talk about the gaming side and talk about the games. Do you think the storylines in the video games are on the same level as the stories in the real life WWE?
In some ways, in the recent games, the storylines are better than they are in the game than they are on TV.
Or is that a shot at Triple H? Maybe we'll keep that in.
Yeah, maybe the game should take some advice off his nickname and play the games.
Play the games, aye.
Yeah, because the recent WWE game, the storyline they had on there with the like an invasion angle on it is great. It's a great storyline. Where WWE have never done a good invasion angle at all.
Really?
Yeah. WCW one was awful. Nexus one was awful.
I was never a fan of the Nexus one. Never. Even like the whole Nexus storyline in general, I wasn't really. Because it took me back to what was the something squad it was called?
Spirit Squad, the cheerleaders.
Spirit Squad. There we go. The cheerleaders took me right back to cheerleaders. I just thought there was more of a less version. Sorry, not version of.
You've just been cancelled.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
That's what it is, mate. You know, that's genuinely what I thought they were. There was only
I agree.
one decent. There was one or two, but there was only one wrestler that stood out for me, and he made it through. And then he went to like announcing. I think he's there now. He's still announcing now, isn't he?
Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Preston.
Where's he gone? He is.
Yeah,
the Preston lads. He's from Preston.
He's still there. He's still on the commentating team.
I've seen him a while ago now when he mentioned soccer and he corrected him on the spot.
Yeah.
Because it was like, what's your favourite soccer team? And he went, whoa, read it again.
Yeah, I popped for that.
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah, it's good to see a lad from Preston on the world stage.
Aye. Well, there's a few famous people from Preston.
Yeah. Name one more.
The bloke who did the Archie.
Kenny Baker.
That's the one, thank you.
I thought you was going to go for Freddie Flintoff.
Big Freddie.
Freddie
Flintoff. Yeah. Peter Finch, golfer, he's from Preston. I don't think there's any more wrestlers though, is there?
They're from Preston? No.
I tell you what used to annoy me in the video games is everybody from America or anywhere else in the world would say if he was from the United Kingdom, he was automatically from Manchester.
Yeah.
And it used to really grind my gears, and then he started getting a little bit more, you know.
Yeah, it grind my gears with William Regal. He was from Blackpool, England, but he was thinking from Manchester. It's like, what? No.
So, right, so we're going to take a little break now. We're going to stretch our legs. For us, it'll be about 10-15 minutes, but for you guys listening at home, it'll be a split second. All right, so if you're still with us, this is where the episode gets dangerous because we've talked about WWE, we've talked about the storytelling, we've talked about the controversy, we've talked about all the amazing work the WWE do behind the closed doors. So now it's time to talk about the phase of our lives where we genuinely believe we were professional wrestlers. I'm talking no rings, no training, and no insurance. Just back gardens, not even a trampoline, just hard, solid ground, just absolute zero fear. This is the back garden wrestling era. How old were we, do you reckon, when we first started beating 10 bells of shit out of each other?
It
was young.
Yeah, about 10.
10? And I'm talking like some of these. One of them I distinctly remember where we was at yours to start with, and then we made our way around to the flats, and this is one of my, and we were just like, so let me paint a picture of you. So you got the flats, and if you was to wrestle in this certain area, it become like a square bit, but then there was a wall with a gate sort of thing on top of the wall, and we treat it as a steel cage. And when I say steel cage match, we battered each other to the point where, if I'm correct, there was spine busters, submissions, roadworks were involved. You know, getting kicked in the head 7 times. That was a nice touch of yours, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I could hit a good sweet chin music back in the day.
Get your leg up there, aye.
Now I can't even get my leg up. I remember climbing up the cage bit once and me saying, "You're going to catch me, aren't you?" "Yeah, I'll catch you." Right. So I took a leap of faith. Guess who moved? Guess who landed really hard on the floor? It was funny though. It hurt. It winded me, but it was funny.
It was good. It was good fun. I mean, like it's. What do you reckon? So do you reckon it was like it had to be the video games that inspired? No, do you know what? I think it was genuinely the WWE in general that inspired us. The scripts back then that led us to some of the silly stuff we did. I mean, and obviously this was when we were younger, so we wasn't really aware it was scripted and done professionally. And
yeah.
So when I say there was road signs involved, you best believe I hit this man over the head with a road sign.
Yep.
When he says he jumped off and expected me to be there, you best believe I wasn't there to make a catch. He hit this ground hard. I believe you got a walking stick now, haven't you?
I have got a walking stick now. I have a dodgy hip because of this man on the other hand of the podcast. He used to turn me into a pretzel regularly because he was the submission wrestler. I was more of the what would you say, powerhouse, because I could do the lifting.
Powerhouse, yeah. So touching on the submission wrestler, I did have a special move, so they call it. And for you wrestling fans, I'm just going to describe this perfectly. AJ Styles. I did it before him, all right? I did it before it was cool. That was my move.
Yes.
And I'm sure Adam can tell you how it really feels, because it's not pleasant. There was a pop. I'm sure you heard a pop.
Once you did hear a pop, yes.
Yeah, it was like, oh, shit.
I used to scream when you put it. I used to hate him putting it in, because the thing is, in the end, he stopped telling me he was going to do it, because he knew if he told me I'd start moving. So suddenly he'd have it in, the Styles lock, he'll have it in, and I would be screaming, tapping, saying I quit.
Yeah. I mean, you got me back though. I mean, there was times where, like you said, the sweet chin music, where we thought we'll go all out, and there was a spine busters.
When you went for the spear, and I caught you perfectly in the chin.
You caught me, and I dropped like
I thought I killed you. I was
out.
You.
I was out.
One thing we never did though. Yeah. One thing we never did. Neither of us ever got a pinfall over each other. We were too dumb to stay down. You got submissions on me, and I tapped, but we never pinned each other because we were too dumb not to kick out.
Mm-hmm. Like, looking back on it now, you're like, imagine doing that at this level now. I mean, I know there's wrestling companies out there, like the lower wrestling companies. I know a friend of mine, you know him as well, Howard. Mm-hmm. He did, I think he paid like £100, took part in the show, did the whole training thing. I went and watched it, to be fair, and it was fantastic. I loved every second of it. I sat with his dad and his family and stuff. We sat there, we had we weren't even drinking, mate. We were on corks and stuff. And I was buzzing for him. And then he got kicked in the face, and I was so engrossed in his story, mate, honestly. And I had to tell me. But I was getting high rate because it's Howard, and he's a really good friend of mine. Yeah. If I could have, mate, I'd have jumped in and helped him out. But and they were going back of like the other people as well. They was going back and forth with these wrestlers with a mic. The mic work as well was spot on, and it was brilliant to see. It was like a smaller organisation.
We used to be able to cut a decent promo on each other.
I reckon we could.
Yeah, I
reckon we still could.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Do you remember the day we found that ladder? And I thought, if anybody remembers Matt Hardy, he used to go to the top of the rope and do like a leg drop off the top rope. I was like, oh, Dan, lie down.
Yeah.
Guess who moved again? So I landed, arse first, like that. I thought I broke my back. This was on grass, so it was just floor. And he rolled out of the way, and I was like...
It's kids for you, man. It was just stupid.
My God.
We were so stupid, you know?
Don't try this at home. Okay, we went to the flats and did it instead.
Yeah.
That's what we used to say.
Don't try it at home. Not a problem. We won't do. Your insurance is covered. It's fine. We did it outside.
Our mums would have killed us when we were kids if they had seen the stuff we used to do to each other.
It was really bad. It was really bad. And like I said, like I mentioned, the bin. But remember the bin?
The bin that was meant to move and didn't.
Yeah, so we was wrestling on something, what we call it the rec zone, where we were, because we had like the football pitch. It used to be all grass and then they built up on it. But there's like a hilly bit on the outside, and that's where we started wrestling. And again, I think the big power move was the spine buster, and we like the pedigree. I think it was the whole degeneration thing. We just loved it. So a lot of our and Batista,
Yeah.
Stunner. It is the Attitude Era, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think when we was doing this, I think DX had just got back together back in like the mid 2000s.
Well, that explains it, and done it with the hype. And then, well, I spotted a bin, and I went, Adam, bin, and he went, yeah. So and there was people watching as well, which I think this is why we was getting really into it, because everyone was like, look at these. We had people watching out the flats and everything.
Yeah.
And I went, Adam, bin, and he went, yeah. So I went to throw him to this bin. Now, when you look at a bin, you think, that's going to move. This was a big metal council bin that was bolted to a concrete foundation, and I tried to put him through it. Now, the only thing that moved was the steel, and when I say moved, it went. Everything else was bolted to the floor, and you best believe he bounced off that bin so hard to the point where we were on the floor and you're going.
I actually ended up at the hospital. I ended up at the hospital because I thought I'd broke my collarbone hitting that bin.
Yeah, I panicked. I was like, oh shit.
Neither of us thought, should we check if it's screwed down? We just went, throw me and see what happens.
You know,
but
storytelling.
Yeah, when we were younger, you would see something, I would see something, I'd go, Dan, or you go, Adam, we'd look and go, we know what we're going to do. We know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, it's class.
And we didn't even have to say it, we just knew something was going to happen and one of us or both of us were going to get hurt.
I mean, I know we were kids and like the technology back then for recording things wasn't as it is now. I mean, like the cameras we've got now and stuff. We never had this when we were kids, or the mobile phones. Imagine some of the footage that we'd have got as kids. It'd have been great. Like some of it would have been like, wow. But then, I mean, like I'd have posted it online if I knew what it was. I mean, because you look at wrestlers like Mick Foley.
Yeah.
He was jumping off roofs onto cardboard boxes, wasn't he? Yeah. That's how he got found.
Plus, he used cardboard boxes.
I know. Who's used his cardboard boxes?
Yeah. The floor's soft enough.
No, I'm only joking. Don't come after me because he will find me. Last thing I need is the mankind knocking on my door.
Cactus Jack. Bam, bam.
Aye. I mean, speaking of cameras and recording things, I mean, you was so you're talking about doing your own sort of wrestling podcast as well on the side, aren't you?
Yeah. Yours? Me and a friend of mine, James, we just started a TikTok channel called. Sorry, I'm really bad with names, so we're called Wrestling Talk Talk. And
Wrestling Talk Talk.
And after Christmas, we are looking to start a wrestling podcast where we talk about modern day wrestling, but we're going to go through old storylines and rework them like how we would have done it. Like, just for example, the original invasion, you know, when WCW invaded WWF, how we would have done it. Because that storyline, if you was there and watched it, or if you've watched it now, it sucked. How we would have worked it with the talent that came in and the talent that was there.
Yeah, from there.
Yeah, because back then there was The Rock, Austin, Kane, Undertaker, and these guys were all young, in the prime.
It could have done so. It could have been so much better. So essentially, you're just sort of putting yourself in that gorilla position with you and the community you're going to build.
Yeah, we're going to show Triple H how it's done. Yeah, come on, Hunter.
Tag him. No. No, it sounds good, man. So your TikTok's called Wrestling
Talk Talk.
Wrestling Talk Talk.
Yeah.
Are you gonna try and call the podcast the same name, or are you gonna go a little bit different?
Well, we're looking up ideas at the minute because obviously there's a lot of wrestling podcasts out there, so we have to make sure we're not
interfering. Yeah.
So we're going to do the research, and then once we've got a name and stuff like that, it will be on our TikTok, which is live now. You can add us on the TikTok now, and I will relay the new name to Dan, and he will give us a shout out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the future's looking good. Dan's going to have the gaming side of the world, and I'm going to have the wrestling side of the world.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. If you're looking for a name for your podcast, if you want a bit of help, chuck it in the comment section. I'm sure we'll both be reading them anyway, and because this will be getting snipped up as little clips and it'll be getting sent to Adam, so I imagine he'll be posting on his TikTok as well. And so jump across to his TikTok, give him a follow, comment down below, give him some ideas for these podcast names. You never know, yours might get picked.
Yeah.
I'll give you a pair of socks.
Yeah.
If it gets picked.
If yours gets picked, we'll give you a shout out and a thank you.
Yeah, we'll give you
some
feature
Grinch socks from McDonald's.
Yeah, they're going at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, the future's looking good because I've been wanting to do something to do with wrestling for a long time.
Yeah. No, it's good, man. I mean, I wanted to do this for some time as well, and it was just a case of like finding the software, getting a name sorted, and the brand, and starting a franchise, and getting people involved. And it's just once it starts, man, everyone wants to get involved.
That's it, and you're gonna help me on some sides of it. So yeah, all
Absolutely.
looking good, mate. All looking good.
Cool. Right. Awesome. Well, it's a wrap. That's at the end of episode 5. Press X to wrestle. If you enjoyed that, like, comment, subscribe. It's going to go out on YouTube and Spotify. Adam, I'll tag yourself in it so you can go and have a watch of it yourself. If you enjoyed that, we'll see you in the next one for episode 6.